There's this in the bodybuilding space. There is a lot about the post-workout glycemic window. Is this a myth? Is it something that is necessary? What's your view?
It's a great question, and I would say this is where I'm going to lean heavily on personal variability. We are not all the same. This is one of the most amazing things I've learned through levels is just how different we each are in terms of how our bodies respond to the exact same stimulus, the exact same inputs. So I'm somebody who has very volatile blood sugar. I have high fasting glucose. I have a very aggressive response to simple foods, even black coffee. If I just drink black coffee, I have a blood sugar spike. In some cases, a dramatic one, depending on how poorly I've slept.
This is surprising.
So it's very, even among people now who have been using levels for a long time, I'm one of the few people that has that response. So I would firstly say that there isn't a one size fits all answer to this. Secondly, one of the first things I saw when I tried a CGM for the first time was exactly this effect. I was somebody who, like I said, I lived in gyms. I was obsessed with musculature and making sure that I was bulking up at the right times and staying lean simultaneously. And so it was a lot of carb loading and glycogen replenishing, right? So loading carbs so you have energy for that workout, and then replenishing the glycogen that you depleted from the workout immediately after. So I was eating lots and lots of carbohydrates, brown rice, sweet potatoes, whole grain pasta. And what I found is that my blood sugar from those carb loads and glycogen replenishments, regardless of how aggressive my workout is or how long, completely, just sort of blew through the roof in terms of blood sugar control. I would have a huge spike. Let's say I was carb loading for a workout. I would have a shake with a lot of carb, banana, maybe some bran flakes, et cetera, on my way to the gym. Well, I'd have this huge blood sugar spike. I would then be walking up to the bar for the first set, and my blood sugar is now crashing down through the floor, and my energy is lost. I used to yawn in the gym at 10 a.m. because I now realized my blood sugar was crashing through the floor, and all that energy was being soaked up. Then for the glycogen replenishment, it just turns out that I was massively overdoing it for my body. I just did not need that many carbs. And in fact, I was probably causing myself a lot of trouble with inflammation and just the variation and the crashes, just lowering my energy because I was overdoing it so much. That said, I know a lot of people who have similar build to me who were eating similar nutrition profiles and were having completely controlled blood sugar. So my point is that I think you have to dial this stuff in, and you need some feedback to know whether or not you're overdoing it. In general, my emphasis is on protein. I eat high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet, and that's where I feel best. And that's certainly how I perform best in the gym. I don't have those issues anymore. I would say one last thing on this is that a lot of the gym nutrition culture comes from looking at the elite, looking at the best of the best for athletics, and saying that this is what the best performance looks like, so everyone should copy that. The reality is, at the time that I'm describing for me, I was spending most of my time at work, working really hard, certainly, but it's knowledge work. I was not physically exerting myself. And I would go to the gym and I would work out hard for 60 to 90 minutes. But I'm not somebody who's training for 3, 4, 5 hours a day. And so I should not be copying what elite athletes, elite CrossFit athletes, or Tour de France athletes are doing for my carbohydrate intake. And we make that mistake all the time. Everybody looks at what the elites are doing, and there's a difference between elite performance and optimal health, right? So what they're doing is pursuing golds in the event that they're competing in. What we're doing is trying to perform well as team employees, husbands and wives, and so on and so forth. And so there's a very big difference. I just want to draw that conclusion, is just that even if it is important to glycogen replenish and carb load, let's make sure we're doing it for the lifestyles we actually lead, not the lifestyles that elite athletes lead.